What's up, gang? We're gonna do some trade recap. Today was pretty lit. I had a fire trade. I had one partial, one good winner, one medium winner, and then one trade that was a winner at first and then became a loser. Could have been a winner. Um, so let's get into it. I've got this stuff marked out. Um, so I'm looking for 431. So right around here is right near where I click into my first trade. Um, it is 9:32, so pretty early. We got this nasty dump for the first 2 minutes of the market or whatever. We crushed these anchors. I wasn't looking at them too strong, but they were in the golden pocket of our little data candle. So I was like, okay. But then this was actually a pre-market low, or not a pre-market low. This was this anchor actually was a low. This anchor was just part of the way, but a significant area. I'll go ahead and actually pull up TradingView exactly so I can see. Yeah, so the low was this candle here, but it's kind of a weird candle, so I didn't worry about it, and I put this anchor here. Um, so I was looking for some support here, pre-market low, nothing crazy. I mean, we got we were positive ish here on the 15, or at least we were in the positive cross. Pretty negative on the two, but I thought I could go for a scalp here. So here's what I clicked into. I'm on 4 speed. I'll actually have to tune that down so we can see this here. I gotta change my settings so I don't have to get out of full screen, but whatever. I click into it right here. We hit this anchor and we didn't just sink through it. And we were near the end of the candle. I'm looking at a 3 minute chart over here. We're near the end of the candle. So I was like, I think we can at least pop back and get half this candle. So I click into one contract here, planning to potentially build into some more if we just kind of like shake out here and then maybe for an upper here, move like a nice little U-ish, right? To at least recover, say, half the candle. So I click in there, um, and then it just launches right into like 20 points of profit. Um, so I just take it. I see that and I'm like, that's a win on a contract. I'm not going to expect it to go all over there. That exactly went to about what I was expecting, a little less than halfway the candle, but whatever. Clicked pretty good. So I just took that one contract real quick. Um, so yeah, and then we're moving about, speed this up a little bit. And my plan was to build a position down here, which really was kind of against the trend at this point. I mean, it was if I look at it on the 15, it's against the trend, right? It's like against the trend, for what? Like I should have been building a short, you know, um, but some other folks that I trade with were kind of bullish. So I was like, I'm going to give myself the opportunity. I just clicked into 20 points there. What I should have done is got tried to get in on the wick, but instead I got in around the close. A little optimistic. So I click into one here, and I could have taken that one for a little boom, seven there, eight there, eight and a half. I could have gotten almost 10, but I did not. I waited, it was down 10. I was like, oh, I'll put a stop around the wick. Like I think we'll kind of turn around here. Um, Below the wick of the 3 minute, it's below my 15 anchor. And I'm just seeing it shuffle around, just watching it shuffle around. This is at 2.5 times speed, so obviously way quicker. And then at some point I was like, well, I'm building a position here. We're down towards the low. I should have gotten into another right there, right near the wick, but I wasn't really confident in my trade. I wasn't confident because deep down I knew it was against the trend. So I see it kind of go. I see the green, right? I'm red for a little bit. I see the green. I think psychologically that got to me a little bit because then, um, and I check the one here just to see how that's looking. I see the green. I'm like, oh, it's about to go. It comes back down. Like, pretty sure I click into another one. So a decent little spot. I'm like, and then I set a stop for that second contract. And then I'm like, okay, let's just get back to where we were. See, and this is where psychologically I knew it was wrong because I should have maybe taken my one here and then gotten back into one here, like kind of recycled it, especially because we were against the trend. I wasn't too confident. But instead, I got into my second one, I set the stop, and then, my stop, it pushes up. I think, what, I go even for a second, and then no, I don't even go even. Then it hits my stop. So it's the end of the first trade. Um, I'm noting that. So that's the end of the first trade. I think that was against the trend. It was against the 2 minute Mac. It was against the 5 minute Mac. It was against the 15 minute Mac. That was just not good. Not a good. The first one, sure, I scalped the first touch of my level. That was decent. I scalped the first touch of my level. I took it as soon as it gave me some profit. Yeah, I could have even scalped the second and third touch, and you notice the second and the third touch were not as strong. But whatever, I think the first trade, this ended up being a loser, right? Because I took 20 points and then I went and lost 10 points on two contracts. So it's actually a slight loser considering the slippage of the stop and the commissions. Um, but not too big of a deal. I think it was against the trend. It wasn't high enough probability. I couldn't have gone short on the open. I should have just been doing nothing. Because at the open, it was bullish, right? This was about the open. Nine. This was about the open. I could have maybe shorted the open, but only the 2 minute was really confluent with that. It wasn't really. I guess you could see the five. This is the five was about to turn, and I did have targets down below. But I was looking at these anchors. Turn this up. I was looking at these anchors. So, I mean, really, we did kind of. I mean, I thought we could come all the way to the upper band, right? Which is just above the golden pocket here. So I thought we kind of had some upside, but really we were right on my top down anchors of interest. I could have gone for a short, but instead I went for the long, which is kind of a bad habit of mine. Like I see something happen, I try to catch the reverse because I think because I called the move, I can call the end of the move. But the beginning of the move is a lot easier to call, I feel, or somewhere around the start of it. So whatever. Moving on to my next trade, which should be um, around actually later. I didn't do anything for a while, so I didn't do anything for a good bit, and I was happy about that. I just kind of watched this all play out. There's some support around my anchor. Funnily enough, if I didn't stop out there, I actually could have added one down here and maybe got out for a nice little even, but that's still kind of against the trend, relying only on the anchor with very little confluence. So if I skip forward with a few minutes and see it just dumped out, right? There's no confluence with that long. Most of my factors were against it. And then I'm going to slow down here because I know I got my next trade coming up. Now we've gotten all the way to this next anchor, my next point of interest, and we got to the -2 VWAP. So we got all the way down to my next anchor of interest, which was where I think that was probably this one. That one. Was it that one? Down here, yeah, where the 15 closed, is where the 15 closed. So around here might have actually been this low. Yeah, it was around that low. So another point of interest, we could retrace counter trend, shouldn't be counter trending, but I was being impatient. We could counter trend, retrace half that candle, especially because it's open. So right around, I think a few minutes around here is around 20. I see this candle, but I at least waited for some support. I didn't just go in for it. I waited for this green candle, this indecision 3 minute candle to form. And then, let's see, it pulls back into the body a bit. right? And this is kind of a classic little, a nice doji, right? And then it doesn't retrace much of the wick, and then it goes in for a bit of a turnaround. So I click into one contract. I see that bit of support on the wick. Where do I click in? Waiting, waiting. See that happen? Okay, so a little, right? I didn't click in near the bottom. I waited for the strength. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad. That's going to be a question for Friday. Like, is that good that I waited until that came in, or should I have gotten in around the wick with a tighter stop? But anyway, I get in. I set two cells. I'm looking to retrace this 2 minute anchor. I'm looking to retrace some anchorage, right? So I got one set at the anchor. Already took one actually. See what I did there? Kind of a habit of mine. I got in late and then I took one pretty quick. So I said, what did I do here? I set my two. This one's at the anchor. This one's above it. And then I'm counter trending, right? So I'm not in a great spot. Yeah, I turned this one down and then I set the other one at the anchor. So I get in for a long there on the strength and then I sell at the anchor. I hold. I'm waiting. Then I see that the next candle open, it turns red, so I just take it. Now, so that's trade two. Go ahead and note that down. Round 11. Recap 11. T2 win. All right. So then my next trade is not for like 15 minutes or so. So let's skip all the way to 35. So it's about 10 a.m. And yeah, I'm thinking that we're gonna get a nice roll. So, and that's for multiple reasons. Go ahead and pull my 15 over. And now this is gonna be a little messy, but here's what I was looking at. One gap down candle, gap down fib. So this thick fib, thick purple one on this gap down candle, we push down right at the golden pocket there, and we push down at this anchor, right? This anchor here was the recent low for a while, right? I mean, I'm sure if I move the anchor over here, I'm sure we already got through that. It was way up there. Um, so that was the most recent low for a while, and we're not really finding a whole lot of support for that. If I go back to the video, here's the 15. We get this we get this 15, doesn't even retrace half of it. It comes right back to start retracing that body. Three is just kind of chopping in the bottom in this red candle. A bunch of insides practically. Um, and not only that, the 5 minute MAC is red, the 15 minute MAC is red, the 30 minute Stoke turned red. And that's something these two, I want to note, these two I want to use for overall trend more often. Um, 30 minute Stoke and the 15 Mac. I think that works pretty well for long term trend, and I'm going to keep observing that. So, yes, I'm watching this. Um, let's turn the speed down because I know next trade comes in soon. Um, I see the 2 minute rejects here. I was hoping we would get all the way up to this 2 minute. That's where I wanted to start building in my position is all the way up here. That would have been right around the golden pocket, right? There's a retrace to these top down anchors, and then back into my gap down candle golden pocket. And let's see if we get that. Of course, I know we got that because I was there. Um, so it's pushing up to the 2 minute. I haven't clicked in yet. It just kind of tapped it, right? It missed the pocket, but then it finally pushes on up again. I'm looking at the 5 minute here. I'm looking at the 21 EMA and I click into one. Once it gets up to my 2 minute anchor, it's right near my golden pocket. I click into one, change the setting here. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm using, because I think this can be a larger trade, but I want to make sure I'm using at least like a decent type of risk reward. Not focusing on it, but um, see, I'm looking here. I'm in one. I'm gonna speed this up because this is a longer trade. Um, I'm waiting. This is a 3 minute chart. Now I think this is gonna crack down for a good bit. All right, I'm convinced that we're gonna get the 100 fib. But then my target really is this anchor here, and it's this anchor because this is a significant time point in time. This is related to the buy signals of SPY. But a while ago, um, we had a significant buy signal on SPY, and I was like, I think if this dumps down, that will be a good magnet. So that's my target, and I think we can all come all the way to the 161 of the gap down candle, which we did. Um, but my targets are going to be the 100 and the anchor. So anyway, back to the trade. I'm in one. I'm just gonna let this play out for a little bit. It's probably one of the best trades I've ever had. I'm just watching for a while. I'm not gonna get into another one because I think it can retrace all the way up to this pocket and maybe even this 15 top down if I'm unlucky or lucky really because I think it's going to come down, so a higher average is great. I'm just waiting. I could have clicked into another one there, but I didn't want to. I wanted it to come a little further. I already got one at the start. I already got one in my 2 minute, which lines up with the 61.8 fib, and I want to take another one at the 15 anchor or the 50%. So I'm waiting. Letting it play out. I think we're gonna have a lot of downside once it finally starts coming. You skip forward a good 3 minutes. I might be into my second contract at some point. I still know, and I'm gonna set a stop, set some more cells. I get into my second one right there. So I know I'm gonna go back real quick, see if I can catch that. Boom! I get into my second one right there. Um, because we're chopping here. I'm like we're towards the top of these candles in this little formation. Like this could be the formation that rolls below this doji. So I'm going to get into a second one here with plans to get into up to 6. We got two more, 4, so up to like 7 really. And I'm on NQ here, but really I would take this type of trade with micros. Um, and then this would be the stop. Like this is like the worst case scenario, absolute invalidation stop. But once it gets above here, it's a lot of invalidation. Reverse this whole 15-minute candle. So I get into my second one. Um, it starts rolling down. Skip forward a little bit here. Skip forward a little bit more. And then we get this big, nice move here. And so I'm just going to let it ride. I got a target here below all this. I'm taking one at about 20,000 because that is prudent. That is a psychological level there that could easily be some weird, funky support. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one there. My plan is I want to get into another one because I'm like this is definitely working out. So I actually believe I click boom into a third. So I'm adding to the winner here. That felt great. And then I'm like, I'll take, really, I shouldn't have taken two there. That was like a bit of inconfidence. I should have put, because this is before my anchor target. Um, and I think it might be before the 100 fib. Um, and I'm just letting it ride. And the cool thing is, I'm trying to imagine trading this without trailing drawdown. I think imagining my trailing drawdown is bad for me and my trading style, and less scalping. You know, I can scalp, but I can also take longer trades. So I'm imagining this without trailing drawdown. So I don't care if it comes break even. At this point, I should have moved my stop to like maybe here, or whatever. But pretty confident in this. So it comes all the way back to break even. I'm in three now. No big deal. I'll move forward a little bit, but I think the action starts pretty soon. Yeah, we start to roll some more. We got a lot of confluence. So I take one here. like, so I change this. See the actual exit. Yeah, so I have three. Wait for it. Yes, I set a buy right there. And the reason I did that is because I think I should have taken one there in the first place at the 2 minute bottom up, because that really is the grade A right there, is going from a high level resistance, a high time frame resistance, to a low time frame retracement. So I should have taken one there to begin with. So I take my third there, and then I set a buy here, which is right. It's not as low as it should be, but no big deal. And then we'll go ahead and let this play out. It's at 4 times speed. There's 20 minutes left. Should be over in 5 minutes or less. Just letting it work. Letting it work. I take one at the 20K to be prudent. I'm up 60 from the add-in, but really I'm up 100 from the original entry. And I'm still letting it work. I come down to my anchor, but I'm like, I think we have further, because that's not the target anchor. The target's all the way down here. But I think we could roll it. At this point, it's already showing insane weakness. We've got alignment on all time frames, all of them. 2, 5, 15, 30-minute stoke, all of them are aligned negative. So that's why I'm holding it. I don't want to get out until something shows. I got the TTM here because I want to learn it, but I'm not paying attention to it at all. But we've even got the gold dots, so that's something. They should be red dots, but I made mine gold. Um, so we're going up 100. Still working our way down to this anchor. So these are 3 minute candles, so it's only been 9 minutes really from the ad. Just letting it work. Let's get forward here a little bit. Get a little bit of retracement. I'm not worried about it. I set my stop at break even. I should have, here's the thing is that you might think, and I thought, like, should I move my stop here? Should I move my stop above this candle? But it's like, I hate when it just gets stopped out and then it comes back down. Like, I think we're going to go here no matter what happens in between. So I'm just going to leave it at break even. And that's what's so great about not having a trail, because I would hate to get trailed all the way back here. Um, so I would either take my profit early, or I would set some crappy stop that's definitely going to get hit. So still leaving my target here. It's lined up with the anchor, and then eventually, of course, we hit right into it. Taking a little screenshot, little little celebration. I mean, it's a 200 point winner. It's a crazy day. Um, Come near the anchor, and I just move it up. Don't be a dick over a tick. And then we hit the anchor, and then I'm still watching eventually, and we actually bounced exactly that anchor. So that was a great out. So it was a great out. We bounced really hard from that anchor. We bounced literally 100 points from that anchor. I could have turned that into a buy, but no big deal. And yeah, that was those three trades right there. Um, I did take one more later. So if I go ahead and clear out some of this fluff, what I took was I anchored the high from this roll. Really, I should have anchored that candle. And we came here, kind of got into this area, and I shorted this from here, and it was a good like 50-point winner. But I don't have that recording. I didn't record that. So yeah, that was this winner turn loser here, small winner here, and then catching this whole nice roll. And the big point there is I had confluence on all of my indicators. I had the fibs, I had the anchor, so that was what gave me confidence to ride that huge. And this counter trend was met. Shouldn't even been worried about that. So that's all the trades today.